Afternoon in Wind Parish, Louisiana, near the Atlanta, Louisiana area. There was damage to homes there. The same indices are in place now for severe weather tonight. We just got word out of Vicksburg, Mississippi, that the power is out in the city of Vicksburg, Mississippi. And Greg Forbes, you see what could be a tornado or something of the such.
Yeah, and that's certainly not a good thing. A very well-defined hook echo there. You can see this little notch here. So there's where the circulation is, just to the northeast of Vicksburg. The tornado would be right now about 7 miles to the north or east-northeast and moving quickly toward the northeast. Here's the storm relative velocity that we see. And so you see very well-defined circulation, or possibly a couple of circulations there, maybe the old one and a new one reforming with that red and green touching each other. Then let's take a look. The Yazoo City circulation beginning to look as if perhaps it's trying to bow out. It looks more like a comma shape than that supercell, but tornado back there in that comma head area, and you can certainly still get tornadoes in there, and that certainly is where there's a little bit of a broader circulation. It's not as strong and as intense as it had been, but it's almost right over Yazoo City at this time. So danger storms, those are just two of them. We'll have many more in that line and even ahead of that line overnight tonight.
Yeah, interestingly enough, March and November, the big months for the state of Mississippi. Here we are in November, and an overnight threat is what we see for our second weather.
Yeah, Mississippi has lots of deadly tornadoes, and a large reason for that is that they tend to be overnight. Let's take a look, in fact, for the Torcon forecast for the overnight hours. That'll be Titan 7 that we can go to. I'm giving some values of 4s and 5s across the area, and here we see that for much of the action right now is just a little bit off to the west there of Jackson. There's additional storms forming, so about 50% chance of a tornado there, a little bit lower to the south and a little bit lower to the northeast, and lower still, about a 3 as we head down closer to the Gulf and later on into nighttime hours. As Jim's been pointing out, we have a lot of very warm, moist air. That warm front is getting very close now to the north edge of Mississippi, so the temperatures have climbed well up into the upper 60s. They've been rising, and that warm front is going to then, as we go the overnight hours and through the day tomorrow, going to push its way similarly up across parts of the Carolinas and Georgia. And so if we go to our Viz 700 source, we'll see that then tomorrow we'll still have a tornado threat, a severe weather threat in these areas as well. The Torcon values won't be quite as high. There'll be 3s and 4s, 30-40% chance of a tornado. But we'll be looking at an area beginning in the morning, southwest up to northeast Alabama, and then pushing through the day across Georgia, parts of the Carolinas, maybe even overnight to D.C. For the daytime period through the evening hours, the threats for the Torcon values will be about a 4 in parts of South Carolina, and similarly a 4 in parts of Georgia. Basically a continuation of the biggest threat, Jim, along those warm front areas as that warm front climbs across these states as well. Maybe a little lower threat down near the Gulf.
Mike Chesterfield, I want you to show us the radar now of in AJ Titan 5 on Yazoo City. Adam, you said we got damage reported now in Yazoo City? Damages to buildings now being reported in Yazoo City. So, Greg, we don't know if this is a tornado or the actual gusting out of this cell. But either way, damage is damage in an area that's obviously a heightened awareness from a tornado.
Yeah, certainly a well-defined supercell there hooking around with the circulation back in that little notch. So it could either be damaging winds coming through or the tornado that's gotten itself perhaps even rain-wrapped back there in that little comma head notch of this, what certainly has been a supercell thunderstorm.
So from what I'm being told, there was a tornado reported in Yazoo City with damage to buildings in this area. Now, granted, this isn't April 24th, but this is all fresh and breaking, and we'll update you as we continue to get this information. Stick around, guys. Rough night in Mississippi now.